Okay, so we're going through Michi's Endgame Techniques, Chapter 8, and what he calls his advanced topics. So what we're looking at here, these sections is going to be what he calls timing. And so depending on what we mean by timing is how much timing does your opponent have? And so timing means that how long is your opponent going to, basically, how long is it going to take for your opponent to crash? So if your opponent has lots of checkers to move into this home board, he's got good timing. If your opponent does not have lots of timing, is going to crash his board if he doesn't escape some checkers soon. That's poor timing. And that's going to influence how we want to play, take off our checkers. And the rule that Michi gives is that if you have good timing, or if your opponent has a lot of timing, then you want to be as safe as you possibly can, and you want to emphasize long-term safety. But if your opponent does not have good timing, then you're going to want to bear off quickly, more so than long-term safety, and you're looking at more short-term safety, because otherwise your opponent is going to crash, and so you want him to be to crash before you give up a shot, pretty much. So with that in mind, let's go through some examples he gives. So 5-3, how do we play the 5-3, and what's our opponent's timing?
Well, the opponent has all day for sure.
Yeah. Opponent's on the bar, for one thing, and then he's got 3 checkers. It'll be 4 checkers on the home board if he comes in, and 5 checkers that aren't even in his own home board. So he's got all the time in the world, pretty much, and his real concern is he going to get those off? If he does, and basically if he doesn't hit us, it's likely to get gammoned. So that tells us, according to Michi, that we should be looking to play safely. Oh, and he also mentions, there are a couple of ideas that kind of are in tension with each other. So generally, when you're bearing off, you want to bear off 2 checkers if you can. That gets them off faster. It's an efficient way to do it. On the other hand, you want to clear from the rear is another common thing. And so, in this case, you can do one or the other, but you can't do both. So, so do we want to clear from the rear here, which would be, we can clear the 6 point. I think those are the 2 things, or we can take 2 off. I guess, yeah, we can take 2 off. And, this is based on the timing. So based on the timing, we know that the opponent has good timing. What do you think?
Yeah, from the rear, myself.
Yeah, Michi's rule is if your opponent has good timing, then you want to emphasize long-term safety, clear the point rather than take it 2 off. So what we're going to do here is clear from the rear, clear the 6 point, and that's the safest play here.
It's not going to make any difference, Gary, but I'm a bit surprised the cube's not on the other side.
Yeah, let's see if actually in Michi's example it is, but yeah, it doesn't make any difference.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's look at this same roll, different count. And so now what are we looking at?
2 off.
Yeah, 2 off, because now the opponent is black does not have timing, and so let's take 2 off. And that's slightly better than clearing the 6 point. Okay. 6. Okay. What about this one?
Your 4-5 will work from here.
I'm sorry?
So your 4-5, your
Yeah, okay, well, here, this one is a little bit different in that we are, we're not taking checkers off, we're not in the board yet, so we've got a 2 to, and the 6 doesn't play, so we have a 2 to play.
4 to
And
2.
so-
I like.
I'm sorry?
I like the 4 to 2 because at least then you get like a 6-3. It'll play. If you move that 6 to the 4 point, you're going to bugger everything up the next move. If you have some weird 6-3 play or 6-4 play.
So, okay, so, well, okay, let's, we got 2 moves that we can make that are reasonable. Obviously, we're not going to take one off the 7 or the 5. So we're going to move either 6 to 4 or 4 to 2. And there are problems with each. One of them being, we don't want to stack the 2 point. There was a rule earlier on that, well, in general, you're not going to want to stack the point in front of your last, in front of that anchor. And then what, and then, well, there's, black has plenty of timing here, obviously. And so when he has that, we're looking for long-term safety. So what's the, okay, so what does long-term safety mean when we're playing against an ace-point game? Does anyone remember how we, how do we?
Build a mountain, I guess.
That's right. That's right. We want the pyramid structure of the mountain. So so it's that or that, which is the pyramid structure?
The first one, I guess, but I
First
prefer,
one, yeah.
I prefer the second. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, so it is the 6-4 play. Yeah, yeah. And again, yeah, I think if we counted bad rolls after this, I think this play has more, I think, bad rolls. But again, it's the long-term safety that we're looking at. When black has all the time in the world, it's long-term safety that you're looking at. So you got to go back to the, ace-point game. Which we typically play for long-term safety. That's why we're playing the pyramid structure, the mountain structure, as opposed to any of the other ideas. And that's pretty unique to the ace-point game. Okay. Look at a variation of that. Okay, so now obviously instead of 4 checkers on the ace-point, he's got 2, and we're about to almost ready to crash the board. So now we're not looking. So now we're not looking for long-term safety. So what do we think? The answer is going to be.
Well, now you want your 5-3s and 5-4s or 6-3s, 6-4s to play. So I guess you play the 4 to the 2 this time.
Yeah, this one is actually, this one is so close that it's probably not the best example Michi could come up with. But here it's closer. The 4-2 is closer than that, because you're looking then the 6-4, because you are looking more for short term. You want to you're looking for your opponent hopefully to crash his board before you give up the shot. Because remember, with the ace-point game, I forget the exact figure, but you 90% of the time you're going to give up the shot. And so you're looking to not do that right away. when we don't have the timing. When black can crash, you're much better off giving up the shot after black has crashed. Okay. Okay, so now we're looking at some bearing in. But the idea is the same. Lots of timing, long-term safety, no timing, do short-term safety. Now, what does that mean in this case?
Well, if
All
we
right, so
come up,
obviously
yeah.
we're going to do this. That's forced. So the 3.
It's always weird, but 3 is always safer on the 6th than having 2. I forget why, but the math says that.
Yeah, actually, Michi has a whole chapter on that, which doesn't say much other than, what does he say? Chapter 10 is something about avoiding 3s. I don't remember what it said, but 3 is, you're right, 3 is weird. Okay, so we've come in. So the 3, we're going to either take it off like that, or we can go 6 to 3.
well, that play leaves 6-1 and 5-1 as bad next time.
Yeah, so we got 4 bad rolls next time.
And the other player just leaves 6-5. But you might have to play, it might repeat.
Yeah, yeah.
This is also, you got all the timing in the world to get a gammon, so you don't have to worry about getting the extra piece off. So
Yeah, you're not in a hurry to get the extra piece off. You want to get, so, you know, here we're,
3, I guess.
let me go back to the, so I go back to the kind of there are 2 rules, long-term safety. Well, if your opponent has timing, you want long-term safety and clear the point. If your opponent does not have timing, you want short-term safety and take checkers off. So if you can remember those 2 things, so now opponent has timing, we're going to look at long-term safety and clearing a point. So the best way to clear the point is to do that. Okay, now, and your point, as Peter, I think is saying, was pointed out, you're going to have to clear that point eventually anyway, and that's going to be your problem. Probably your last problem, because once you've done it, you're on your way to pretty much an easy, should be an easy gammon. So in this case, yeah, it's long-term safety, work on clearing the point. All right. Yeah, here we have a different situation. And so what's the answer going to be?
Well, obviously take one off. Someone else has this.
Yeah,
Damn
well,
it.
that's yeah. Because this is, we're comparing these, it's going to be to take one off here. Now these don't make, I'm not sure how big of a deal this is. You probably wouldn't have noticed it because these aren't big differences here. But again, the idea is there's no timing, so take it off.
I mean, you've also got the chance to possibly pick and pass here as well, so you could increase your gammons quite a bit, I guess.
Well,
I'm saying after the
here.
draw.
But yeah, obviously, if you could pick and pass, you would want to do that. But that's a different topic.
And I'm saying the next roll afterwards. I mean, one of the advantages of staying on the 6 with 3. is
Oh,
you
I
could
see
have
what you mean. Yes, the next
double
roll. Yeah,
1 or 1-5 or 1-4. If he stays
Yeah,
on.
yeah, that's a good point. That is a good point.
Harry,
Yeah,
could you
yes.
hover your mouse to show the gammon percentages wins on the two plays?
Okay, so 95 wins, 0.59 gammons, this roll. And 0.29 gammons, 94, 6 wins, and 0.29 gammons.
No
So
gammons.
not a lot of gammons here.
100% no.
I think I would take the 3 off, basically because if you roll a double 6, I already am bearing off, not just moving checkers.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's part of it too. Yeah, obviously it depends on what stage he's at, but yeah. Black does not have much racing equity here, but it's not that impossible to get some couple of double 6s or double 5s, things like that. Okay. Go through 2 more. Okay, so what do we have here?
Lots of time, basically.
Lots of timing. Ace point game. What does that mean?
Long-term safety.
Yep, long-term safety. So 9 is going to come into the 3.
You take one off, I guess. Would that be the safest? Even if it is the best, even if it is most pips.
Well, remember the ace, what the long-term safety means for the ace point game. Peter, I don't know if you were here for
No, I
that,
wasn't. No.
Yeah. but it means mountain structure, pyramid structure.
So you
So-
want the 3 points.
You can take 3 off, okay, but that leaves,
Pyramid's gone.
yeah, no pyramid. If we do that, that's the idea. Even though that, I believe that gives us more shots, and may give up more shots. Yeah, it does. It certainly does, because it gives up the 6-5 whereas this, this play doesn't give up any shots next time, but it's over the long term, it's not as good.
It's giving quite a lot of shots, though, isn't it? The other way, taking off the 3 point. That's double 6, double 5. Is it?
Yeah,
No, not double 5.
not double 5s, just double 6.
6-5.
The 6 and the 5, yeah.
So that's only 3 shots.
Yeah, it's 3 shots. But yeah, whereas this one, I didn't have that right. But this one doesn't give up any.
So the lesson is it's worth giving 3 shots.
Yeah, long-term safety. Recall going. The ace point game is different from the other games in that we're looking for that mound structure, and we're not counting shots. Because we do, if we give up an extra shot now, if we play it safe and don't give up the extra shot now, we're going to give it up later. And that's the idea, because remember, the ace point game, you're almost guaranteed to give up a shot at some point. And so that's why you emphasize long-term safety versus the short-term. Almost every other anchor or playing from the bar, it's short-term safety that we're looking at. But the ace point is long-term safety, and that means the pyramid. Okay.
What's the what is the XG numbers on that?
Right, I didn't do that. Forgot what
These
there it is. Yeah, this one is fairly sizable.
Huge.
That is it.
5 errors. All right. Okay, so now we get, same roll, different configuration, different timing. Much weaker timing for black. So what does that mean?
Short-term safety, because
Take a shot off, right? 9 to 3, 3 off. And again, that's fairly sizable.
quite big, isn't it? Yeah.
Okay. Now this one, this is actually a different section for Michi, and so what he's well, we'll look at this. Let's get it. What is the best play here? We got a checker on the bar. The question here is not so much timing, is that we don't want to get hit. So we can play it completely safely by moving 4 to 1, 6 to 3, or something like that. Or we can bring a checker in and do 8 to 7 or something like that. What's the right play?
I guess bring it in. That would be my guess. Got to bring it in eventually.
Yeah, it's bring it in. It's not a big deal. Well, yeah, no, bring it in. Yeah, that's the one that doesn't bring it in. But the idea is black is on the bar, and that's a good place to be when you're coming in, and you can take a little extra risk, because next, if you don't take it in now, next time he may,
Yeah.
he may have come in, and then if you're forced to,
Yeah, you'll be giving 11 shots instead of 2.
yeah. Now, what about this one now? This one, all we did was move from the bar, the 8 point to the 7. Is it the same idea, or do we play ultra safe here?
Well, the other way, every one will leave you a shot. So I would play safe, but I've been wrong just about every time.
Yeah,
I think in this one you
I
play
would
safe
say-
because there is a lot of numbers that clear.
what did you say, Jacob? I didn't.
I think there is a lot of numbers that will clear after, so no matter if he comes in or not, it's safe 4 to 1.
Yes, yeah. Here, there are almost any number, you have to roll a 2 something. And so for it not to be safe, so you're better off with just, right at the edge here to play safe, to not come in. And I guess it doesn't matter which other one you do. And so, this is covered in Michi's book, but I kind of wondered, okay, what about this one?
Wow. I think something like 6 to 3 looks more natural here. In terms of
I
chin-up.
think this looks like the first one, 9-6.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the same idea.
Oh, sorry.
Because when you're bonus on the bar, you leave the shot because you may have a difficulty, you may not be on the bar next time, and you may get a roll like this. Or, a 5-4 or 6-4 or something like that, where you're forced to leave the shot. Same with this one. It's, when you've got the gap there, you got to look at what the size of the air for this one.
Wow.
If you don't, this is a safe play. That's a 0.3 error.
Wow.
So, Michi didn't say it this way, but if you have the gap, get that checker in, even when you're giving up the the shot. And in this case, you know, the 5, well, okay, so that, hey, I'll go to that in a second. 4-1. You know, it's to come in. And, you know, this is silly. You give up, you know, 2 shots, I guess 3 shots here instead of 2. But to not come in at all, you know, is a huge blunder. Okay, so that's all that Michi had to say. I had one other.
One question, what if you roll here at 4-2? I wonder, what would be the right play?
Well, let's see. You can't bring 1 in. If you move a 4 and 2, you give up 4 shots, or you can play safe 6-2, 4-2, or something like that, and not give up any shots.
Then if it comes in, you're in trouble.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
What is the answer on that one?
How about 6-2, 11-9?
Make up 2. Is it bringing 2? Okay.
Yikes.
that's an interesting one.
Wow.
That's,
I'm not sure. I guess I would do that. I don't know. I hadn't thought about that one.
it's, yeah, I'm surprised, but it's just that when it's 6 away, it's so difficult to clear, isn't it? Once your opponents come in.
Yeah, yeah. Now
So
this,
I'm surprised though. I'm not sure I'd have done that.
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know over the board whether I would think of that, but yeah, I mean, that's a good point. The idea is, well, in this one, what do we think? I would think that no, it's still bringing 1 in. I would be tempted to not do that, but
Wow. 12 to 8. 6-3.
yeah. And this is a fairly sizable error. Oh, not so much 10 plus. Maybe I'll do look at all these 10 plus plus. Yeah. Still fairly big error not to come in, but yeah, this is a tough play, tougher play to make. Although maybe this is not so bad. This only gives up the 5-3. And you're almost, you know, you almost have to give up a shot here at some point to come in.
Yes, yeah.
All right. One other thing, Michi didn't point this out. But it's the impact of doubles here. With 2 on the bar. So, and this has 2 on the bar. I think we looked at this one. But keep in mind, okay, yeah, so here's 1 on the bar. If we come in, we're giving up 1 shot, double 5s. You put 2 on the bar. And the idea is not to bring 1 in because you give up the double 5s and that's his only shot. So here you're coming in with 2. And it's an important thing to remember, you know, not whenever you're bearing in, if your opponent has 2 on the bar, you know, well, typically you want to give up the big doubles because there's only 1 double. But if your opponent has 2 in the bar, then his only shot at you is with the big double. And so you want to avoid, you know, so if you're on the, you know, the 5, you want to avoid the 10 and the 15 for that matter. I once actually lost a important game in a tournament because I didn't think of that. I had 2 on the bar and I moved a checker here on the 15 point. He got double 5s and hit me. And if he doesn't hit me, I have a pretty good chance of winning. Anyway, that's just a general idea coming in. If your opponent has 2 in the bar, you know, don't give up the big doubles. That's all, because that's all he's got. Okay, so that's it for today on the timing.
Thank you, Garrett.
Thank you, Gary. That was great. First time I've been. I enjoyed it.
Okay, great. Who would like to be in the Chouette?
I'm gonna skip today, Gary. Is anybody in New York, by the way? Karen or Gary? Are you guys?
I am going to New York, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm in New York. I went into the tournament room around 5. Mochi is here. But there weren't many people around, but again, things don't really get underway until about noon tomorrow.
All right. Well, good luck to both of you. I'm gonna skip the Chouette, but I'll play next time.
Okay,
Good luck, guys.
Les, I'll send you another email, so let me know tomorrow if it hasn't come.
Okay, thank you, Raymond.
And,
Gary, I'd like to watch this video again. So can you, what do I need to do that?
just stay here. You may, actually, let me turn this off. Well, wait, stop it, Greg. What